Welcome to another edition of Game Changers, where we talk about men, mental health, well-being, and how to stay well above water. My name is Sean.
Max here. We're going to talk about a bit of statistics of how the world around us is. In terms of statistics, it's like 40% of men won't talk about their mental health.
Yes.
And they'll just keep quiet.
Or keep it in themselves.
And they suffer inside, or people suddenly see them dying, or they've taken an overdose, or they were admitted to hospital after attempting to commit suicide.
Yeah, so this is accessible information that you can find, and we want to talk about why we have over 40% of men not willing to talk about mental health when we know it's affecting everybody, or most people anyway, in today's day-to-day life.
Yeah.
So in terms of the men that have been polled regarding mental health, how big is the number?
It's huge.
Okay.
Yeah, it's huge because 77% of men, they suffer from anxiety disorders and also stress disorders. Some they even depressed. However, they will not seek help.
Right.
They will just try and cope without looking for professional help, or even talking to family or friends about it, or maybe seek counseling about it. They won't do that. They just keep quiet.
So
it's not helpful.
So we know it's over 40% of you guys that are not talking about mental health. Yet of the men that have been polled, over 77% have gone through depression, anxiety, stress.
Yeah, a lot more. I think.
Yeah, obviously it's going to be over 80%.
Yeah.
It's going to be over 80%.
Yeah.
So what are shall we talk about the issues that really cause men to go through these stresses, anxiety, depression?
Yeah, definitely. We have related topics about men that, and the reasons why they won't seek help is because men don't want to be stigmatized. They don't want to be seen as not manly enough, like being weak. Also, because they carry values and men values, which are you're supposed to be managing things properly.
You are manning up.
You're the man in the house. Also, you are the provider. So if you complain about things and you show weakness, and then things will fall apart around you. So they would rather.
Right. Yeah. So we've got all the the relationship, like you say, relationship issues. You've got that whole culture, values that can make us guys not talk about it. And this fear of being looked as weak is what we need to really get over.
Exactly.
Today.
We need to know that stigma is not something that's going to go away. But we need to fight it, and this is one step we are doing to make sure that stigma is not tolerated. We try and fight it to the best way we can. So Game Changers are here to support anyone who is going through stigma about their mental health. So you can have guys that when you send a message, we respond, and we can signpost you to that process where you can get some valuable help. Meaningful help.
So we talked about how a lot of men have gone through some type of stress, anxiety, or depression. Now, major causes of this are work, finance, health, family. You know, there's quite huge percentages in terms of these things affecting, on average, men's mental health.
Statistics-wise, we carry on 22% of men, even if they visit the GP, they will never admit that they're suffering any form of anxiety, depression, or stress. They won't admit it to the doctor. Why? Because they don't want to be labeled as weak, as someone who needs support. You know, they feel like, okay, if I admit that I need support, people will start to stigmatize me, and the stigma, would say negative. There's never positive stigma.
No, not really. We never use that term in any positive light.
It's usually in negative.
Yes,
stigma.
Always in negative.
So, and also finances, in terms of managing finances, it's a huge one in this day-to-day world. If you you can't handle your finances properly, then the results are not favorable.
Yeah.
It means that family-wise, you're gonna have a lot of pressure.
Yeah, you
one.
will. Yeah.
Two, in terms of the relationship between husband and wife, it's really going to be affected.
Yeah, indeed.
Because ladies, when they want their things,
the time,
and they want to do their shopping, then it's not gonna be easy to do that. Yeah, and these are all valid and valuable things to talk about.
Yeah. So just to recap, we are talking about why would men not want to talk about mental health, and like Mark said, 22% that goes to GPs. They don't disclose that they're suffering from some type of stress or anxiety, and also
the number
most
could be much
higher. Yes, and most even think, some of you guys that are watching now think you've got nobody else to talk to, and we're about to change that. We're trying to change that, and I think there's been a lot of advertisement. There's been a lot of what's the term I'm looking for?
Like
promotions, awareness,
information
in terms of men's mental health. So you've got somebody to speak to. You're never alone, and somebody else has gone through what you are going through at this point. And others are just embarrassed. To be honest, it could be embarrassing to admit what's wrong with you, considering the
consequences
stigma that's been there for years.
People, how they will now start to view you, they start to look at someone who they think is vulnerable, is weak, is not capable of,
taking care of their own themselves.
You understand. So these are things that discourage men from seeking help. So, like Sean said, we are here to make sure you won't be embarrassed to admit you're suffering, and also you will know that there is help out there.
Help.
And also, if you don't know where to get help, you've got a channel that to signpost you to the right help. But we can guarantee that when you get that help, it'll work for you. But we'll make sure that at least
you get the information that you need
to some kind of help, which is very important.
And to mention, one of the biggest misconceptions that men have when it comes to mental health is thinking that you've actually dealt with the issue yourself. In actual fact, you've just learned to cope with your mental health and your struggles and your stress and your depression. And obviously we will talk about how other people cope, obviously substance abuse, etc. But the point is, in most cases, men, we tell ourselves, I know how to deal with this, I'll deal with it in my own way, but you're not doing it in the right way. So
self-medicating is not a good idea. Many people, when they self-medicate, is alcohol. That's the main one. But alcohol it cascades into other things. Then others, when they drink now, they feel kind of invincible. So they start to learn some new.
We have domestic violence coming in now.
Besides, they'll start to learn about drugs, cannabis.
You want something stronger.
And maybe some will start injecting themselves with some other things.
The worst, crack.
Exactly. And also this, we're just talking about the known ones. Some people will use definitely the same medications that are being prescribed. They will use them.
They'll abuse them.
Abuse them. That's the
definitely
right way. So they'll get the same medications and not use them the right way.
And they're on constant supply.
Exactly. And they get hooked to some drugs, and then they don't know that once you get hooked to those drugs, it's not good for you. It will only make things worse.
The last one on why most guys or why most men don't want to talk about mental health is you feel like you're going to be a burden to somebody else. And we're here to say, no, that's not the case.
It's like
you'll be a burden if you turn up dead.
It's better than turning up dead. It's better than that. To be honest, life at some point you'll be a burden to someone. It's that you can't escape that, because you will need help at some point. And getting help, the word help means someone is lifting you up, or they're carrying your burden for you for that moment, to make sure that you can cope that moment. So the idea that you think that I'm gonna be burden to someone is not for us, it's not important.
We're
just
going
want
to
save
change
your
that.
life.
We need to change that.
We want your life. You are as a person to be alive first. Anything else comes second. Then we'll take it from there. In terms of the men who are aged between 35 and 44 years of age, the most cause of pressure or mental health problems, it's work related,
right?
Finances, and also health concerns. Because as people grow, their health is no longer.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Okay. It deteriorates with age, definitely.
And then you'll be kind of diagnosed with certain diseases.
Yeah.
Then you start to worry.
Yeah.
It's not only men though, even women.
Yeah.
When you get older, you start to get diagnosed with a lot of other different illnesses.
Yeah.
And then that gives people a lot of pressure.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I do suffer from aches and pains that I never used to have when I was a young, active man. And sometimes, I realize that when you wake up in the morning and you've got an ailment somewhere, your mind straight away start racing. What is this? What?
Yeah.
So that's definitely one of the big issues.
Yeah.
And in terms of finance, though, and I know for most men, finance, especially in today's world, it's very important. Yeah. But if you're a young person,
finances doesn't rate very high.
No, you still have a lot of time to make your money. Most men come into their peak around their 40s, where they actually are very financially secure. So
and then they kind of know why they want to have
exactly
money.
Yes, at that time.
That's why it's important, isn't it? When you're young, you don't know why you're getting money.
You're just seeing guys running around in nice cars, and you think that's why you need money. Yeah.
But there are more important things than
absolutely.
That man needs to address.
So it's really important that we talk about mental health. And generally speaking, of the 40% of men that we spoke about earlier, that anxiety, that depression, even though we are trained and conditioned not to say that, because anxiety is a feminine kind of word, isn't it, that's used generally speaking. Anxiety, depression, is one of those things where a man is not allowed to say, I feel anxious, but we all do feel anxious.
So definitely. You're attending an interview, you feel anxious.
Yes.
You've got an appointment with your GP, you still feel anxious. You never know what they're going to tell you.
Yeah.
Or you've got an appointment with your boss, you feel anxious.
Yeah.
And this applies to men and women. It doesn't
discriminate.
So, and also, being anxious in terms of the animal kingdom is very important.
Yeah.
It makes you get yourself ready, get yourself prepared, get yourself switched on to what's going to happen. But being anxious all the time,
that's the issue. That's the problem. That becomes a mental health issue that we're talking about now.
So we are trying to make sure that we give you balanced information and ensure that we're not misleading each other.
Yeah.
So being anxious, good thing.
Yeah. But all the time,
not a good thing.
No good thing. So in all the men that have been polled when it came to mental health issues, majority of those men were found to have thought about harming themselves or had suicidal thoughts. Now this is common because men, as we know, failure is something that we take on very hard. And if you feel like you're not gonna progress in life, you're not gonna make it, it's very easy to start thinking, what is the point?
So that's very important what you've raised. We need to understand that as a perception of a human being, we catastrophize things.
Yeah.
Okay. So if someone comments about the weather is going to snow, we see 2
blow it up.
2 meters high kind of snow.
Yeah.
If they say it's going to rain, we're not thinking about drizzle.
No. It's going to be thunderstorms.
You see.
You
So this is where we are going to address it. Sometimes problems are there. Life is full of challenges.
They're not as big as they seem or they sound.
So if you share, you realize that problem is not as huge as
as you think. Sometimes it's very, very simple. And when you wake up the next day, it's probably gone.
Yeah. And also someone can solve it for you. So sometimes let's learn not to catastrophize things. And also share information.
Absolutely.
Things will be.
Yeah, so we talked about why it's important to share and seek help when you need to, and that will change, and also change our mindsets as people.
Exactly.
And as men, there's nothing masculine about being depressed or anxious. This whole, I have to man up and hide the pain that I have.
Yes,
it's not going to work.
Like what you were saying about health. Yeah, some men, they won't say that they're not very well.
Yeah.
And also if they're unwell, they'll keep turning up.
Yeah.
And then in a way might spoil the quality of work they can do, or they will deliver. And that at the end of the day is reflected in a wrong way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the person was not well, they could have just said, I'm not feeling very well. I'd rather get some support here.
Thanks again for joining us today, guys. We shall continue talking to you and uploading more videos. Please
subscribe, click the notification button.
Yep.
Feedback.
And share the video.
Share and feedback.
Yep. So that's all the time we have today. Goodbye.
Goodbye.